Hi everyone, my just PGA Fellows 2025. My name is Anjas Prastyo, Anti-Corruption Analyst at Corruption Eradication Commission of the Republic of Indonesia, or commonly known as KPK. Here I will be presenting governance in tackling unemployment during COVID-19. The case of Kartu Prakerja, Indonesia's government initiative and oversight findings. This case is based on the work of the KPK's Directorate of Monitoring on Corruption Prevention back in 2021. Kartu Prakerja, or Pre-Employment Card, is a government-supported initiative aimed at helping Indonesian citizens improve their job skills and receiving financial assistance. It targeted job seekers, those who have been laid off, and workers who need to upskill or reskill their practical knowledge. To qualify, applicants must be Indonesian citizens, at least 19 years old, and not currently enrolled in informal education. Launched on February 26, 2020 through Presidential Regulation number 26/2020, the program initially received a budget of 20 trillion rupiahs or 1.2 million USD and aimed at assisting 5.6 million people. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the program also served as a part of the government's social aid effort, supporting laid-off workers and small business owners. The SIMS was adjusted to include only online training, increased post-training incentive, and reduced training costs. Each participant received 1 million rupiah or 62 USD for the training itself, 2.4 million rupiah or 150 USD for the post-training incentive, and finally they also received 150,000 rupiah or 9 USD for completing a post-employment survey. By identifying the fraud and corruption risk in the implementation of the pre-employment card, KPK found key issues and brought some recommendation accordingly. First, registration process challenge. Although 1.7 million affected workers were verified by the Ministry of Manpower and BPJS Ketenagakerjaan, only 140,000 had registered by May 8, 2020. Meanwhile, 9.4 million people in total had applied to join the program. For the recommendation to the problems, project management officers or PMO should collaborate with the Ministry of Manpower and BPJS to encourage verified workers to register themselves. Priority should be given to those already in the verified list. To cut costs, PMO could use national ID numbers and population data from Pusdatin or national data centers and banks for the validation, removing the need for face recognition, which costs 38 billion rupiah. And the second issue is with the digital platform selection. Platform selection was handled by the Komite Cipta Kerja or Job Creation Committee before the PMO was formed, which violates regulation stating PMO should manage this partnership. There is no specific rule for managing procurement using the BAPUN budget, a non-ministerial section of the national budget. And the other problem is we also found the conflict of interest problem, 5 out of 8 platforms will link to training providers. About 250 out of 1,895 courses were from such conflicted relationship. For the recommendation, request legal opinion from Jamdatun or the Attorney General to clarify the legality of platform selection. Ban the courses involving conflict of interest, and in the future, the government should consider creating its own independent digital platform. And the next issues are the course content quality. Only 24% of the 1,895 available courses met proper standard. Of those, just 55% were suitable for online learning. Among 327 sample courses, 98% were freely available online. For the recommendation to the problem, PM or project management officer must establish and enforce quality standard for course selection involving expert reviewers. Courses offered through the program must not be freely available online. And for the program implementation weaknesses, some training content was not appropriate for online delivery. Only 55% was suitable. Certificates were issued even if training was not completed. Participants also received incentive despite not finishing their courses, costing the government for incomplete training. Some recommendation for the problem is ensuring interactive training to verify real participation and completion, improving system to align the training delivery and payment with Permenko Regulation number 3/2020. For the final recommendation, due to these critical issues, KPK recommends postponing future batches of Kartu Prakerja until improvement are materialized. Furthermore, the coordinating Ministry for Economic Affairs and the PMO must implement this recommendation first. Going forward, the program should be managed by relevant technical ministries overseeing labor affairs for the sake of the program accountability. That's all for me. Thank you for your attention. I would appreciate if you ask some questions or bring up some relevant issues to the table for further discussion. Thank you.